south side and through to their third grand final in 4 seasons. Reed swoops on the crown with massive basket.
3. You are kidding me.
And the fire burned brightest. Townsville are WNBL champions for the 4th time.
This season, beating the Flyers by 11 points last week, while the Fire bounced back to the winners list against the Capitals after its 17-game winning streak came to an end in round 2. Jess Webster with you alongside Basketball Australia Hall of Fame member Carrie Graff. Great to have you here for what should be a really great test to see where these two sides are at this early stage of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, reigning champs in Townsville Fire, they'd be expecting to be a finals team again this year, and Adelaide Lightning, I think they're a team that have their sights set on that top 4. So I think we're going to see an early type finals battle here. You know, we know Townsville like to execute. They're an opportunistic running team, but they love to execute in the half court, get their shooters open, work for great shots, give up a good shot to get a great shot. Lightning, on the other hand, like to run and gun, get out and use their youth, use their talent. This one could go all the way down to the wire in my mind.
Absolutely. So much to look forward to tonight. Adelaide have taken on some really quality opposition to start this season. So take a look at the ladder. Melbourne, the only team undefeated to this point. Townsville in 3rd, Adelaide in 5th. But they played Southside, Perth, the Boomers, and now Townsville tonight. So they've, again, as I said, played some quality opposition. And this is a real opportunity for them at home tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and they could easily be 3-1 or 4 and zip. They've been right there in those ball games. They're in pretty good early form for a relatively young group. You know, Townsville, I'm sure they're disappointed about that. You know, on the buzzer loss against their arch enemy in the Southside Flyers from last year's championship group. But Melbourne Boomers has certainly been the team to start this season on fire.
And one player who is absolutely taking the competition by storm this season is Izzy Borlase, of course, a South Australian product. We know she comes from a family of sporting royalty, but she's making her own name in this competition, and she has led her team in scoring the past 3 weeks. What a player. It's just incredible to think she's only 19 years of age. The sky really is the limit.
Yeah, look, she's just got so much to her game. You know, she can get to the rim. She's powerful. She's robust. She's got a perfect basketball body. You know, she's evolved her perimeter shooting game. She can defend. She can go inside. She's a great rebounder. She's, you know, the basketball world is at her feet, really. She's going to have a great career.
Number 2 in the competition for average points per game with 18.5. She had 25 against Southside in their last game. As we take a look at the Adelaide starting 5, Borlase, as we know, is leading the way, but they've added 2 really good recruits, I think, this season. Willoughby, who won the MVP for Sydney last season, and Brianna Turner, who is having an outstanding start to her campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. Two great imports that are still probably finding their feet a little bit in the WNBL, and I think that's, you know, we've got some great WNBA talent in the competition this year, but it takes a little while to become a starter with a scoring focus, coming off often a role-playing piece in the WNBA. But, you know, both teams have got star-studded lineups. You see, you know, the point guard matchup's going to be great tonight. Steph Reed versus Lauren Mansfield, that's going to be a great one to watch. Actually, all the matchups are going to be huge.
And you feel like Adelaide are a team that are probably still settling with their best combinations, but the same can be said for the Fire. They've had a couple of changes to their championship-winning roster, but take a look at their starting 5. Still so much talent across the board in this Townsville lineup. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you lose some talent, but when you add the likes of Sammy Whitcomb and Alice Koenig to your lineup, you got to be pretty happy with that. But I know Coach Shannon Seaborn feels they've got a bit more offensive blend to get together, a little more chemistry, move the ball a little bit more and get it through sets of hands, and that's often the case at the start of seasons. People trying to find their way, establish themselves and their role in the team, but you know, I think we're going to see them really execute their half-court offense tonight.
So a huge contest to come in Adelaide tonight. Don't forget the official WNBL app is finally here, so we do not want you to miss a minute of the action. So for all your live scores, your highlights, your player and team info and plenty more, make sure you download the free WNBL app today and have it at the ready for this contest between the Lightning and the Fire. A couple of moments to go before tip-off. Adelaide, Carrie, will come into today's game with plenty of confidence, having got the recent wins against Townsville. They won their past 2 at home against the Fire, and they've won 6 of the past 10 matches. So I know the players don't probably have that front of mind coming into a contest like this, but they've certainly got a winning record against a quality outfit in the Fire.
Yeah, and when you've got a core group together, often you do feel a certain sense against certain groups.
So here we go, underway. It is Adelaide taking on Townsville, a top 5 battle in the Cygnett WNBL season. It's going to be Townsville to get us underway in the first quarter. There is Reed. A wonderful player she is, looking to make a move early as she kicks it out to Whitcomb. That one's off the rim, and again we see another rebound to Turner. She's averaging 17 per game this season, just a monster number.
We see the early tempo push by the Adelaide Lightning. They really want to play that early pace, push the ball up the floor, score quick if they can. We see Willoughby pull up for the 2. Doesn't drop for her.
Just a little short on this occasion, so a couple of opportunities early for these 2 sides. Whitcomb goes for the 3 and drains it. Great start to her campaign tonight.
Wow, and tough with Sammy Whitcomb. You know, I think we'll see Adelaide tonight mix up what they do on that ball screen defence. They're going to have to throw different things at different opponents, and we saw they went under that time, and Sammy Whitcomb got wide open for that 3.
She's number 1 on the comp for average 3 points made this season, and scored one to get us underway. And that's a really great move, and Cygnett finishes.
Yeah, great ball movement then by the Townsville Fire, inside, outside. Coach Shannon Seabold will be happy with that ball movement, player movement, hit the open player.
And here's a chance for Adelaide through Borlays, and she gets her scoring underway tonight.
Yeah, we talked about her in the opener. She's a key to this group early. She's a tough defender, a tough player to guard, as we see Whitcomb leading to the referee. That might have been a foul on that.
A quick transition from the Lightning down the other end, and get a rebound, and out to Willoughby for a long-range 3. And again, that pulls up short. Townsville back the other way through Reed. Cygnett.
Lightning switching on the ball screen. That's the advantage of having...
Cygnett takes her opportunity.
Wow, I was going to say the advantage of having a player like Borlays, that you can switch in that ball screen action, but you end up with a big Akuso then on the perimeter player.
A couple of triples to get the Fire underway tonight. Found their range early. There's Turner inside to Willoughby. That's a really great finish. Had to work really hard for that, Willoughby.
Great composure, just maintained her balance inside, used the step through to complete that finish. The size of the perimeter players for Adelaide Lightning is going to cause a bit of problem for this Townsville Fire guard position. They're a little smaller, give away a little height.
Reed into the corner for Cygnett, who drives, makes a move, draws contact.
Ball lays from behind. Tried to get a piece of it. Referee said no.
She's number 6 in the competition for average points per game is Alice Cygnett. Putting together a nice season so far. Akuso. Whitcomb out to Roof. Loves it from this range. Couldn't get it in on this occasion. Adelaide can look to respond.
Get an early tempo push by the Lightning. Clearly they see this as a matchup that they can attack. Willoughby against Cygnett. We saw Willoughby putting the ball on the deck, go straight at Cygnett. Achieved what she was after, drew a foul, gets herself to the free throw line. Stands her man up. Great footwork, Willoughby. Interesting one for Willoughby, you know, coming out of the WNBA where you tend to be a role player sitting on the bench, and then you change teams in the WNBL. She was Sydney Flames last year and was their MVP. I think it'll just take her a little while to find her feet in this Adelaide Lightning group, but certainly Coach Nat Hurst sees that she's improving week in, week out and bringing more to their group.
Averaged nearly the 15 points and 3.8 rebounds last season for the Flames, which was her first in the WNBL. And that one to rattle in 87% from the free throw line so far this season for Jocelyn Willoughby. She gets her first points of the evening. Reed. That one is an Adelaide ball.
extended pressure here from the Townsville Fire. We'll look to, I imagine they'll extend their pressure as often as they can.
Mansfield harassed down the floor. Off to Turner, had a fumble and has coughed it up. Akuzo to Kunek. And Townsville make them pay, swings it across to Whitcomb.
Townsville happy now to just play their half-court offense. Work Whitcomb off some high ball screen action.
Out to Roof, who drains a three. We've seen some great shooting already early from the Fire.
1 of 2 so far, Roof. Happy to launch it. As Adelaide packed in off her.
Bourne.
Wow, what a response. Izzy Bourne straight back at you. Nice little left-hand finish.
Certainly a rising star, isn't she? And this was a great move.
Roof suggesting to the referees that maybe she travelled on that step through. Izzy Bourne back in Australia after 40s at college in the US.
Now get a second opportunity here through Willoughby.
Roof won't be happy with herself that she missed a block out on that free throw, but she got out of jail, stayed on the play.
So an early 4-point lead here to Townsville. Top 5 clash tonight in Adelaide. Turner to Mansfield, back to Turner. And they've turned it over. Townsville, fast transition down the other end. Couldn't make them pay.
Adelaide straight back at them, same pace.
Boulays, the young star, to Bourne. Kicks it back out to Boulays, had a fumble. Regathers and
Steps
maybe
on the
steps
sideline.
out. Yep.
Her eyes lit up then, Boulays. She waved her low post player away, said, clear out for me, I want to get on the rim. She saw shot clock was winding down. Unfortunately, I imagine she's probably got a size 10 shoe. Hit the sideline.
There is Woods into the action for the Fire.
Great poise. Woods, we talk about her impact off the bench. She plays at great tempo. She plays at 2 speeds. She doesn't look super quick, but it's the pace she plays at that allows her to suck at the defense, draw plays, and she's an excellent finisher against contact. She knows how to use her body, extract fouls from the opposition. Hell of a finisher.
We spoke earlier about the depth of talent that runs in this Townsville side. Such a weapon to have Woods come off the bench for you.
Yeah, she can score inside and out. She's a hell of a 3-point shooter, great free throw shooter as she finishes those too.
That lead now out to 6 to the visitors. We've got 5 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Willoughby. Shot clock down to 6. We need to put a shot up. Boulays. Excellent finish.
Who do you go to when you need a bucket right now? If you're Adelaide, you go to Boulays. She can score.
Kunek. Long range 2.
Coach Nat Hurst, I'm sure in this timeout, she'll be addressing what her team will do next in the pick and roll. Defensively, they've struggled a little bit there.
So we are heading to a timeout. Townsville leading by 5 points. 4:41 left on the first. So this timeout is brought to you by Cygnett, Australia's #1 digital accessories brand. Cygnett continues to power the WNBL, Australian owned and designed. Cygnett is available at JB Hi-Fi, Officeworks and other leading retailers. So make sure you visit cygnett.com. So interesting stage of this first quarter. We mentioned heading into tonight. It's a really great test to see where these two sides are at. 5 points of difference at the moment. Both sides probably having their opportunities early, but a timeout call just to try and settle for these last few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Adelaide have been a hot starting team. They're averaging 24 points in the first quarter across their first 4 games. So Townsville will have scouted that. Their coaching staff would have looked at all the stats, what things they're seeing. They would have watched the film. Certainly they'll be happy with their start here to hold a jump start team like Adelaide, who like to score quick and start games high scoring. They managed to keep them to 10. You'd be hoping you can keep them to maybe definitely under 20, but they're on track to hold them here. I think Coach Shannon Seabold will be happy with their defensive effort. Coach Nate Hurst, I think, on the other hand, won't be happy with their defensive effort, trying to address that ball screen defense. They got caught on that 3 or 4 times and provided Townsville opportunities to score quite easily. So let's see what adjustments they make coming out of this timeout.
And the Fire, when they get going early, they are very dangerous, and they average 24 points in first quarters this season, which is the league's best. So notorious good starters. So Adelaide will want to make sure that they keep in touch at quarter time. Get an opportunity here. Turner. He's Bourne. Goes for the 3. It rattles out.
Adelaide then out of the timeout. Happy to run half-court plays. We see Borlays with the steal.
And the finish. Outstanding work from Izzy Borlays.
Single-handed scoop with her length. She loves that finish. A little bit of flash.
She has started tonight in hot form. It's just continued her hot form from the very beginning of this season. As here's a chance again for another 3 from Brown, who has not missed a 3-point attempt all season. That's now 5 from 5. Down the other end. That one bounced off the rim from Brazel, but they cleaned it up.
Yeah, another great youngster off the bench for the Adelaide Lightning, as we see veteran Sammy Wickham get downhill. Foul is caught. She'll go to the free throw line, I assume.
So much experience.
Talks the referee into that, says, yeah, I got 2 shots right. Not suggesting at all that it should go base out of bounds.
One of their big recruits this season, Sammy Wickham.
Great footwork, stands it, pulls the ball back, crosses over, stands her defender up, then gets downhill.
Came to the Fire because she wanted to tick off the box of winning a WNBL championship. Of course, we know such a storied career.
And Coach Shannon Seabold's spoken about the work rate and the professionalism of his, 2 new additions in Alice Koenig and Sammy Wickham. And, Townsville Fire players already have good work ethic and professionalism, but he said those 2 have just taken it to another level. It's great to add veteran pieces to your puzzle.
Couple of goes at it for Adelaide, but just couldn't find the finish. Now a 6-point advantage to the Fire. Less than 3 minutes to play in the 4th, and Wickham has ball in hand. Good defense, but Townsville will maintain possession.
Yeah, both teams applying good half-court pressure D, getting in lanes, trying to shake the ball loose, hurry teams up, not let them execute what they're after.
Reed. Now to Wickham. Looking to work on Turner. They share it around. Reed goes for it as the shot clock counts down. Brown again for another 3. That's 2 from 2 tonight and 6 from 6 for this season.
Hot hand, Brown. Adelaide won't keep the ball out of her hands next set.
When you're on, you're on. Borlays, shot clock ticking down. Out to Brazel. Just a little offline. And now Townsville have all of the momentum as Woods down the other end.
Great defense there by Turner. She's an imposing defender. Great shot blocker, just uses her length and delays her shot block. She knew Woods was going to come straight at her, just waited. Great defender, Turner.
Number 1 in the competition for blocks, 1.8 a game. Number 1 in the comp for rebounds as well. Those long levers that she has. Wonderful move from Borlays, just rattles out at the last moment. Lightning desperately needed that as we're into the final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Townsville opened up a handy gap.
Steph Reid, not sure what that call was for. Referee deemed that she carried the ball.
Not often that you see that.
No, maybe in junior basketball, but not often at this level.
But an important moment for Adelaide to regain possession as they look inside, but Townsville break it up. Reid straight back down the other end.
Wow, tough finish, Steph Reid. She's great at that. Can get to the rim, finds a finish.
11 points now, the difference. Borlase. Now Mole. Brazel. Really need a bucket here, Adelaide. Close to quarter time. Just need to find some composure. Now they pull the trigger on the three from Tonks. Just couldn't get it to go. Final minute here.
A couple of big possessions here. Can Adelaide come up with a couple of stops and a score? Not like that, they can't.
Woods from the corner. They get another opportunity, Whitcomb.
Borlase not happy with herself then. Missed the block out on Whitcomb. Gives Townsville his second opportunity. They run the mid-ball screen. Inside-outside action.
Need to get a shot up. On the buzzer! How about that? From Sammy Whitcomb, just as the shot clock was running out.
Mid-range runner, over a hand. 1 second on the shot clock. Sammy Whitcomb, what a start.
Borlase, what can she manufacture? Can she do the same? No.
Steph Reid, got her body there. Great play. Hell of a defender, Steph Reid. Read that well, took the hit. 2.5 seconds to play in this first quarter. Steph Reid will launch one long.
She does go for it in the end, but it is offline. And that'll do us to quarter time. An impressive start from the reigning champs. They lead the Lightning 27-14. We'll take a short break and be back with the second quarter shortly.
Looking for your pathway in basketball? She Hoops Leadership and Confidence Scholarship can help. We're offering 30 girls from around Australia the opportunity to develop as coaches, players and officials, with mentoring from some of Australia's best basketballers and some of Australia's best coaches in breaking down barriers. If you're a girl aged 15 to 18, then this is for you. This 5-month program will accelerate your development both on and off the court. Interested? Head to shehoops.com.au to apply.
Quarter time at Adelaide Arena, and it is the visitors, the reigning champs, the Townsville Fire, leading the Adelaide Lightning by 13 points. It was a tight tussle early before the Fire just pulled away in the second half of that first quarter to take a pretty handy lead into quarter time. Jess Webster and Carrie Graff with you, and Townsville looking ominous early. A couple of their big name players getting their confidence up in that first quarter. Sammy Whitcomb, 7 points. She was outstanding among others.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, she led the way, working off that ball screen action, getting her feet in the paint, other opportunities, spitting the ball out to shooters. You know, Townsville are really executing their offense well. They're moving the ball. Their coach will be happy with that, and they're shooting a great clip, as we know they're capable of. 52% from the field, 45% from three-point line. They had shooters, feet set, wide open, launch them, 3 or 4, being able to hit from there. And their pressure defense, I think, has created a bit of problem for the Adelaide Lightning. They'll need to really make some adjustments at the defensive end. Adelaide Lightning, 27 in the quarter is way too many.
Yeah, they are the best first quarter team in the competition, averaging the 24. So they beat their average in that first quarter. And Adelaide, they start well, but they do struggle to maintain offensive pressure, and their quarter-by-quarter average decreases every quarter. So they need to put in a full-quarter effort. Get some points early.
Yeah, Courtney Woods Good defence there. Managed to get a hand on it. Didn't foul.
There is Brown. A couple of three-pointers for her in the first quarter. Just is not missing them from outside the arc this season. Reed to Cygnett. Also had 7 points in that first quarter. Can't add to a tally.
Townsville really aggressive, getting downhill, trying to get to the rim as often as they can. So we see Willoughby spit it out. Three-point line for...
They'll get another opportunity. Tongs looking inside. That pass a little wayward. So a few turnovers from Adelaide so far tonight. I wouldn't be happy with that.
The defensive pressure by Townsville Fire has been impressive. Getting a hand in the lane, denial, putting pressure on feeders, denying cutters.
Reed and Cygnett combine.
So a little three-way switch on the ball screen action then. They recover.
Woods makes a move against the baseline and that rolls in.
We spoke about her ability to finish. She just blew past Mansfield on that baseline drive.
Here is Mansfield. Willoughby from the corner, wide open, pulls the trigger.
Good inside-outside action by the Lightning then. Get their feet in the paint. Downhill penetration. Spit the ball out to shooters. Willoughby's going to make that one more times than not. Wide open, feet set.
Fair to say they needed that. Need a few more as well. Cut the margin back to 12. Lovely pass and the finish too. Outstanding from Townsville.
Great back cut. Alice Koenig. Both teams looking at a bit of wing denial. Excellent cutting by both teams. They get denied. They basket cut hard.
Mole for Mansfield. Back to Mole, off the board. Get another chance to Mansfield. Out to Willoughby. And it's broken up. Wood's got a hand in there.
Yeah, again, the pressure defence making Adelaide hurry up a little bit. As we talked about, forcing turnovers. Currently got 7.
Turn up.
Townsville
Just came unstuck.
converted. They've got 11 points from turnovers. It's the value of their pressure defence.
So how would you combat that, Carrie, if you were a player on court, but also a coach, when you sort of feel like the opposition is defensively all over you? How can you just kind of work your way back into it?
Yeah, well, look, they'd work on that. They'd know what they're going to see from their opposition. They know it's a pressure defensive team. They'll have their counters. Can they back cut? Can they penetrate? Really, it's just a matter of maintaining their composure. And just like that, Mansfield, at the free throw line with the pull-up J, can't get that to drop.
And when you play quality opposition, as we mentioned, they've played Boomers, Southside, now Townsville as well, Adelaide. They played some quality opposition this season, but you can almost drop your heads, I think, as we see another three-point attempt from Brown.
Wow.
This is incredible shooting.
3 of 3.
And 7 of 7 for the season. Willoughby.
Turner gets on the rim. We see double teamed then by Townsville. Ball movement back out by the Lightning as Willoughby strokes the 3 from the top.
A second of the quarter. She's really starting to work her way into this. And as I was saying earlier, Carrie, when you play top sides, I imagine that you don't want to quite drop your heads when you're losing games because there is so much to learn against playing against these top sides. So Adelaide just need to almost just stay with it.
Absolutely, and you know, as we know, the game is a game of momentum. You know, you can get down just as quick as you can get down 14, you can get up 14. So it's about, you know, how do they chip away at that lead? As we see, then they got some good execution, found wide open threes. They're really going to work on what are they doing in this defensive end. Adelaide time and time again, Townsville time and time again, trying to get downhill, put their foot to the floor and get their feet in the paint. That's causing problems for the Adelaide Lightning defence. They're getting beaten on penetration, as we see. Whoa, that Brown launch again.
Her first three-point attempt missed all season.
Tough finish, Willoughby. On her left hand, finds her way deep in the lane. Finish against contact.
Brown. Kuzo. Whitcomb. Turnover.
Lightning need that. Sense a little bit of momentum swinging their way slightly. Coach Seabom senses that, pulls the trigger on a timeout immediately, halts that momentum, keeps the margin at 12.
So timeout called here in this second quarter. This timeout is brought to you by Ford, for your local Ford dealer, proudly supporting community basketball in Australia. So it was Townsville who led by 13 at quarter time and started strongly again. But Adelaide, as you mentioned, Carrie, just a couple of big three-pointers from Willoughby has kind of really lifted their confidence at the moment, enough to force a timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. They got some good penetration, spat it out and got some wide open threes. That helps the scoreboard tick over. And then their defensive intensity's been there. Sometimes a few errors, rotation probably not where it needs to be, getting beaten a little too easily on some penetration. But, there's been a little momentum swing certainly their way. And as we said, we see some of the scorers there. Willoughby nailing those back-to-back threes. She's got 11 ball lays. Townsville have managed to keep a handle on her a little bit, but the scoring spread there and the danger. Brown and Koenig with 9 apiece, and Whitcomb with 7, who's been so instrumental in those other scores. Getting her feet in the lane with that penetration, spinning the ball out. Townsville have moved the ball exceptionally well and found their shooters wide open.
How much do you think losing that game a couple of weeks ago, bringing their 17-game winning streak to an end, is, dare I say it, reignited the fire amongst this group?
Yeah, look, I think to a certain degree, and particularly that it was last year's, a rematch of last year's championship and you lose it on the buzzer. That one eats at you as a ball club. But, this is somewhat of a new group. They'll have that one in the back pocket next time they play Southside, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that one. So important few minutes here. 5.5 left in this first half. Pass inside for Turner.
Great feed, tough turnaround. She just couldn't buy that one. A little on the front rim as Townsville will run it back down. Koenig on the break.
Now we're out to 14-point lead.
Again, the pressure we see, the half-court man-to-man defensive pressure by the Townsville Fire.
Turner to Mansfield, driving.
Wow, Whitcomb gets a hand on that.
And the no-look pass didn't quite come off.
Yeah, unforced error there. Neither of them happy with that, but they're under defence. Sammy Whitcomb owns that, says that was mine.
Just showing she's human, I think.
It shows her class.
There's Turner. A bit of pressure. Mansfield for the triple.
Just couldn't buy that one. She saw a defender go under that pick. Stepped back and shot the three. Short-armed it.
Woods, Kunek. Boula's applying the pressure. Shot clock down to 5. Roof can't get it to drop. Fast transition, they wanted it down the other end, Adelaide, but well intercepted. Roof to Whitcomb. Happy to just hold things up at the moment. Shot clock down to 10.
Yep. Keep going back to that ball screen action.
Out to Woods. Need to get a shot up here. Great defense from Adelaide. But they need to make it count down their offensive end.
Sammy Whitcomb happy with the effort there. They stayed on the play. She shows she's not just a great shooter, an organiser and distributor. She plays at both ends of the floor.
She was fired up too. Plenty of intent and passion shown there by Sammy Whitcomb.
Again, Townsville Fire happy now just to walk the ball up the floor, grind you out in the half court, move the ball, get some player movement, play inside, outside. As we see Kuso back down her man, go with a little left hook.
Just pulls up a little short. Here's Willoughby, Mansfield. Bourne quite get the points on the board as Townsville back down the other end and Kunek converts.
That hurts. Coach Coach, timeout here, momentum stopper. Nat Hurst has seen enough of that.
So another timeout called here in this second quarter. This lead by Townsville is now out to 16 points. And this timeout is brought to you by CTM Sport. CTM Sport is here to transform your team's travel experience. Leave the hassle of off-court arrangements to CTM Sport. The experts in sports travel management. Get the winning edge at ctmsport.com.au. So a couple of warning signs now here for Adelaide in this second quarter, Carrie. It's starting to get away from them a little bit. They really need to put in a strong 3 minutes as we head into halftime.
Yeah, they've got to stem the flow at the. They've got to adjust their defence. You know, they've given up too many penetrations. Then turning the ball over, getting fast breaks, and their defensive transition. Coach Hurst won't be happy with that. When they do find a score, get a shot on the rim, they've got a couple of good looks on the rim, haven't converted. Townsville have just punished them and got down the other end and scored within 3, 4, 5 seconds. So they'll be addressing that, I'm sure. Coach Hurst will want to tidy that up, and they've really got to dig deep, as you say. 3 minutes now, 16 down. Can they go into halftime with some momentum? Can they claw this thing back to single digits before halftime?
Still plenty of time left in this game, as you said. Try and eat away at this lead a little bit in these first 3 minutes. Take some confidence into halftime, reset, and anything can happen in the second half.
Yeah, look, when they've managed to get their feet in the paint with penetration, whether that's off ball screen action or some of the high handoff action they've had, they've managed to find perimeter shooters, had them get wide open looks.
Bola is 7 points for her so far tonight, averaging the 18.5 a game. Willoughby. Turner. So here's an opportunity for Adelaide. $16 points the margin, less than 3 minutes on the clock. Bolays to inbound. Now to Bourne, to Willoughby. Looking inside. Oh, another miss. But they'll get another opportunity. Bolays kicks it out to Bourne, who goes for the three. It rattles out. They just can't buy a bucket at the moment.
Yeah, and that's when they're just going to hang tough. Let's just say they've had quite a few good looks. They're only shooting a mere 34% from the field. Conversely, Townsville are at 50. Wow.
Look pass to Akuzo. Just didn't quite have the finish. Mansfield. Bolays.
Townsville done a great job to stop the transition game of the Lightning. Good ball movement by them. Willoughby on fire from the three-point line. Much needed by her Adelaide Lightning team.
And that's her third for the match so far as well. So really starting to find her range and what Adelaide desperately needed. Less than 2 minutes to go inside in the second quarter. Reed kicks it out. Kunek in the corner. Back out to Akuzo. Now pops it up. And Townsville ball. Turner just couldn't keep it alive and stepped out of court.
Maybe for the Lightning too, they've got to try and involve Turner a bit more. She's a great defender. She's an imposing presence. She gets on the glass, but how can they involve her offensively a bit, see if they can get her rolling? Can they go inside to her, back out? Willoughby, we've seen, stroke it from the three-point line.
You touched on it earlier, but for the imports in our competition, it does take them a while for them to gel with their new teammates, new systems, new structure. Whitcomb fires from the corner. We get it to go. And it is important to make sure that you try new things to get them involved.
Ball lays. Can't get that one to drop. Townsville here, we have to grind clock. Execute, make Adelaide defend.
Reed. For Brown, we know she loves it from this range. It's a second miss from the three-point area.
Big minute now for Adelaide. Can they get two offensive executions and scores and a defensive stop?
And it's come unstuck.
Townsville fire aggressive on any post feed down low. They're coming hard, looking to trap that. It's been effective for them.
Brown to Akuzo, out to Whitcomb. To Reed. She draws the contact with 30 seconds.
Smart play, Steph Reed. She shaked, she baked, she tried to stand a man up. Ball. It was a nice little contest. Baloncesto was maintaining her length, using her size. Reed just went into the body. Coach Hurst doesn't want to risk another one on Baloncesto. That's her second.
There's Reed again. So experienced, so competitive. Working on Turner. Out to Whitcomb. Shot clock ticking down. Bounces off the rim. They'll get it back here, Townsville. As the seconds tick down to half-time, Whitcomb makes a move. Can't convert. Last chance for Willoughby to try the spectacular. Pulls up a little short, so that is half-time at Adelaide Arena. And it was a 13-point margin at quarter time, and Adelaide have maintained that after the fire got out to a pretty handy lead in that second quarter. So Townsville 38, leading Adelaide 25 at halftime at Carrie Graff. So we mentioned it at the last time out. It was a really important last 3 minutes for Adelaide. They did manage to stem the flow and just keep that margin to within touching distance at halftime.
Yeah, that they did. You know, a couple of big three-point shots. Defensively, they were solid still. That dribble penetration by the Townsville Fire is hurting them. We saw Sammy Whitcomb get by time and time again. Found open shooters, got great shots. Couldn't quite convert them for her team. But, boy, it's been a clinic from the Townsville Fire perspective as we see them execute. Feet in the paint, Courtney Woods. You know, they did this time and time again. They moved the ball. Then they got someone to... We see the great back cuts. Great read of the defence. Really trying to make the Adelaide Lightning work hard defensively.
Couple of really important three balls from Willoughby. She really started to find her range in that second quarter just to try and give Adelaide a little bit of spark, but they've got a lot of work to do at halftime because what's so impressive about Townsville is they do it at both ends of the court, but they look so well drilled and so well structured. It's a scary prospect when they get off the leash.
Yeah, and multiple scorers, you know. Koenig, I mean, they've got 4 or 5 that can score double digits every time. You know, Sammy Whitcomb, Koenig, Brown went off from the three-point line. We see the halftime stats, you know, and a difference in that field goal percentage, a three-point percentage difference. But the biggie there, the turnovers. Adelaide Lightning with 11. Townsville managed to punish them there. Scored 11 points off those 11 turnovers. They need to tidy that up in the second half.
So a lot for the Lightning to work on at halftime. Townsville currently have the advantage at halftime. They lead by 13 points. Looking to make it 2 in a row and keep themselves inside the top 4 of the competition. And the Lightning in 5th position, they're also trying to climb up that ladder. Early stages of the Cygnett WNBL season, but a great second half to come here. We're going to take a short break and be back with you soon.
It's impossible not to be impressed by the sheer grandeur and power of the natural world.
Sir David Attenborough presents a landmark global event.
Animals are adapting to new challenges.
And it all starts on the breathtaking Australian coast. Planet Earth 3 starts Sunday after 60 minutes on 9 and 9 Now.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. because all dreams start somewhere.
And Kelsey Griffin gets a steal. She's off and running once again. KG23 is on fire.
Turnover, great hands. Here come the Lightning back the other way. Nice lob pass. That was brilliant from Bourne. Three from Reed, and she goes bang. What a hot start for Townsville.
It's competition phase. Jenga. It's team Lockie and Coley versus
Frankie and Maddie.
Let's give him a handshake. Good luck.
They're going to drop
He's
it.
going for the same as me.
Oh, what? Frankie,
Yes.
what's your favourite Ford car?
The gold one.
The gold one. Ooh. Wait, test it. Oh, nice.
What's your favourite thing about basketball?
Every team, there's something special about it, and those friendships last forever. Oh. Show us your shooting form.
Team.
Oh.
Do it.
Wait,
Windy.
yeah.
Nice.
You're a pro.
In the middle.
Oh. Oh. No! That was
Yes.
Oh.
Great game, though.
Big Ben, Leicester Square. It's like the Monopoly board come alive.
The travel guides finally do Great Britain
Tally-ho! So I jump off, but my testicles stayed on the seat.
in a super-sized Tuesday.
Oi, governor!
From London
Probably one of the most significant sites in musical history.
What is wrong with you?
to the Highlands of Scotland.
I want to see what's under a kilt.
Very good thing I didn't go traditional.
The Travel Guide's greatest adventure of all. Tuesday, 7:30 on 9.
Hello, Australia. Want to go for a ride?
A summer heatwave has arrived.
This is it. This is what we've been waiting for.
4 spicy nights a week.
It's open season. It's Love Island.
Be afraid, boys.
The power has shifted. The girls are in charge.
What the hell? What the hell?
Surprise!
The steamy villain era has arrived. New Love Island. New episodes drop Monday to Thursday on 9 now.
Welcome back to Adelaide Arena, where it is the reigning champs, the Townsville Fire, leading the Lightning by 13 points at halftime. They did get out to a 16-point lead midway through that second quarter before Adelaide responded to draw the margin back to 13 at halftime. Townsville in third position, looking to get another win on the board. Adelaide, a big second half to come for them. Jess Webster and Carrie Graff with you. And Carrie, one of the great things we love about our competition is the quality of imports that come here to play in the WNBL competition. We're going to take at some of the leading standouts heading into round 4. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's only been one import who's ever won the WNBL MVP, Kia Nurse, back in the 2019-20 2020 season, which is the only time it's happened in 40 years of this competition. But some really quality imports playing in this competition this season, including, of course, Brianna Turner is out there tonight for Adelaide.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's been the ongoing and continued strength of the WNBL is the quality of imports that we see. And, Brianna Turner, probably isn't showing all that tonight. I mean, she's been impressive on the glass, but some of those others we've seen recently, Ari McDonald, she has been impressive. Her quicks, wasn't her best last night in a big one, but boy, she had a great start and great launch into this WNBL season. So quick, the ability to score in multiple ways. But I think one of the big things for a lot of the WNBL players is often they're role players or, key pieces in their WNBA teams. They come out here and the expectation is we want you to do all score, defend. So sometimes it takes them a little while to get back into the groove, or if it's their first year in the WNBL. But boy, have some of them been impressive so far.
Absolutely, and this is our team of the round from round 3. Ari McDonald, of course, featuring Jade Melbourne is just really leading that Capitals side wonderfully. And Izzy Borlase for the Lightning, who they'll need a big second half from her, but so far this season, again, it's just been outstanding.
Yeah, and you look at that, 2 imports, 2 young guns in Borlase and Melbourne, 19, 20-year-old types that have got great futures ahead of them, both here in the WNBA, playing for the Opals in the future for sure, and then a veteran like Kelsey Griffin. What a welcome back to the season was her start last week.
And so at halftime, Townsville on top. The first of a doubleheader for them this round. They take on Perth next. So a couple of away games, and so far started their away trip very nicely indeed. As we take a look at one player who has stood out in the first half, it is none other than Sammy Whitcomb, who is showing no signs of slowing down. She's been super impressive, and more importantly, has been so important to the structure and the way that Townsville are playing at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what she did so well was put the ball on the floor and create for the rest of her team. She managed to get downhill a lot, use the ball screen or go away from it. She, and then, like her scoring line isn't huge for her. She's only got 7 points, but 3 assists, 4 rebounds, and she came up with massive plays when her team needed it. We saw her then come up with a big defensive stop off the back of a turnover at the other end. The only blip on her right now would be that she's 1 of 5 from the 3-point line, but we know when a shooter like Sammy Whitcomb goes 1 of 5, she's likely to go 4 or 5 in the second half. So watch out for her in the second half from the 3-point line. But look, I think she's led with intensity. She's created shots for the rest of her team by getting her feet in the paint.
So if you were Nat Hurst at halftime, Carrie, what would be the key messages you would say to this Lightning group?
Look, I think for them it's a lot of the effort things. Second chance points. Townsville have got 8. Adelaide have only got 2. They've missed blockouts, allowed them to get second chance. Their turnover rate is way too high. Townsville have punished them anytime they've turned the ball over and been able to get out on the break. So I think she's going to see a lift in that intensity sort of stuff. They're taking pretty good shots. They're just not shooting the ball that well, and that's where they've just got to weather the storm. 32% from the field versus Townsville at 50. Offensively, I think they're okay. They've got to change the other end.
It can change so quickly, can't it, when you just start to get a few buckets and things just start to go your way. Momentum's a funny thing in sport. So we'll see what Adelaide can manufacture in this second half. It's going to be Townsville to get us underway. They lead by 13 at halftime. And they'll get the first look here in the third. Akuzo to Whitcomb, who fires for 3. It's off the rim.
Good ball movement, good play movement early by Townsville.
Borlase, they'd love for her to get a few more points on the board. Here's Mansfield. Turner, back to Mansfield. Now puts the shot up, wonderfully executed.
Clearly a tactic, I think, coming in at halftime was to how do they get Turner involved? Get it, and that we saw it there, get her involved in a 2-game with Mansfield. See how Akuso guards that.
Reed, Kunek, 13 points for her so far. To Roof. Oh, and they get it done through Akuso.
Yeah, there was a switch there. The smaller point guard, Mansfield, ends up in the centre, but Adelaide straight back at you on the run. Mansfield with the runner.
That'll get the crowd ignited. Townsville swinging around. Pressure applied by Borlase. Reed calling the shots. Now makes a move, kicks it out. Adelaide got a hand in there, but the Fire will maintain possession.
Yeah, some better rotations, a little more active defensively from the Adelaide Lightning. Again, that ball screen, as we saw them, Mansfield, tough finish in traffic.
Shot. Akuzo, as the shot clock ticks down, it bounces in.
Tough finish over a long hand. Turner's not a shabby defender. Akuso just wheels and deals in the post. Gets that one to roll in for it. All right.
Turner to Mansfield.
Again, we see that 2-game with Mansfield and Turner.
Tough finish. Having to work hard for it, but at least the points are starting to flow.
Absolutely. They're really looking to attack Akuso in that 2-game. Been successful for them. 2 trips down the floor.
Reed charges towards the basket.
Look on Reed's face suggests that she felt she was lucky to get that call, but she'll take it nonetheless. So a little handoff. Mansfield backing away.
Certainly never takes a backward step to Steph Reed. Adelaide come up with it through Turner to Willoughby. Margin still hovering around that 13-point mark. It was what Townsville led by at quarter time. Adelaide yet to make any real inroads.
Both teams happy to grind it out a little bit in the half court right now. It's got to go.
Excellent defense from Townsville. They're so good at it. Roof, wonderful pass to Whitcomb. Just couldn't quite execute. So a chance here for Adelaide. Mansfield turned it over. Well done by Steph Reed.
Good hand, Steph Reed. Again, Townsville happy to execute. Look for some high pick and roll.
Shot clock down to 6. What will Cygnett do? She'll draw some contact.
Let's see what the referees have called. Looks like a blocking foul. Cygnett took a bit of a hit to the head.
Let's take another look. What do we think, Carrie?
Oh yeah, head clash there. Cygnett and Turner. I think she was Turner a little late to come in on that. Right idea by Cygnett. Oh, she's a 3-point specialist. Team's guard her tight. She's got to put it on the deck, which she did, and managed to draw that foul. Timely for her team.
Up to 13 points tonight, averaging 17 per game.
Yeah, it's been a good welcome back for Alex Cygnett. Been out of the WNBL for quite a few years, playing in Europe.
Debuted back in 2017. Played for the Boomers, Dandenong, Perth, Sydney Uni. Here she is in Townsville colours. As you mentioned, Carrie, just such a wonderful addition to this competition and to Townsville. Pretty happy to have her, as is Whitcomb. They'll be happy to have her. Akuzo back out to Roof and
Wow.
gets the finish.
Great ball movement then. Roof, good decision. She hasn't stroked it from the 3-point line tonight. She gave a fake on that, said, I'm going to get to the rim and guarantees it too.
And here she is at the other end with an important stop, getting a hand in there. Michaela Roof.
Gives up a good shot to get a great one.
Whitcomb, Cygnett fires for the triple. Can't get it to drop. Adelaide through Borlase, can take it down the floor though. Wonderful defense from Whitcomb, who charges down and misses.
Stayed on the play, but referee deemed that she was out of bounds.
Yes, so
and then
almost costly from Borlase, but Whitcomb had a foot outside, I think.
Yeah, she was busy getting back on the court. Here she goes, big steal, great hands. Yeah, she came out of bounds. The referee deemed that she was out of bounds before she grabbed that ball.
15 points the margin. Turner, great hands and great finish. That'll get her involved.
Absolutely. Mansfield had a big impact here. Clearly the directive for her is put the ball on the floor. Can you get your feet in the lane? We'll run you off ball screens. If not, get downhill, get your feet in the lane, create something for your teammates. That she's doing as Akuso launches the three and makes it. Wow.
Wonderful shot. They just kept the Lightning at arm's length. Born rather, fires for the three. Drains it.
I'll answer that three, big girl. I got a big girl three of my own.
So now things just starting to heat up. Whitcomb from the corner.
Sammy Whitcomb, unlike her, getting some great three-point looks. They're not dropping for it tonight.
Blaze picks up a foul.
Sammy Whitcomb, 1 of 7.
Blaze with the 7 points tonight. I think we're coming in the first quarter. Lightning would love for her to get more involved as she goes to the line for some free throws.
Lost the handle a couple of times tonight. You don't have to lose the handle at the free throw line. She made the shot. Short arms it. A little fatigue maybe for the youngster. We'll talk about how athletic she is and how robust, but she's played big minutes. She's been a standout for this team early in this season.
Less than 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Adelaide trying to keep in touch. Okuso has other ideas.
Great execution, Townsville fire.
Willoughby. Bourne and now Boulays.
Wow, unlucky to not get a call.
Ooh.
Physical then.
Townsville ball through Kunek. Whitcomb. Trying to look pass again to Kunek. Back out to Whitcomb. Shot clock down to 8. Kunek fires! And we're heading to a timeout as this lead continues to grow for the Townsville Fire. 4 minutes to go in the third. They lead 54-37. As we see a replay of that excellent three-point shot. This timeout is brought to you by Ford Aussie Hoops. The perfect introduction to the world of basketball for kids aged 5 to 10 years. Basketball Australia are launching the Ford Aussie Hoops Award for 2023. To find out more, visit aussiehoops.basketball to register. And geez, Carrie Graff, Townsville really know how to make you pay.
They do. And then, I mean, look, that wasn't terrible defense. That ran at the shooter, big hand, but Kunig's a specialist three-point shooter. That's a big shot for them, you know, and they're just executing. They're making Adelaide defend. They're moving the ball. They're going inside, outside. They're getting the ball to the second side. They've got player movement. You know, they've got score. You know, their scoring column for individual players is like a Christmas tree. You know, it's got a bunch of plays, and that's the threat of this team. They can score multiple ways from multiple people. Kunig has lit it up from the perimeter. A couple of big shots we saw her make, and Sammy Whitcomb continues to lead from the front. She can't buy a three, but she doesn't need to right now. Other people are picking up that slack. She's getting it, you know, continues to get the ball to the right people. And I think you can see here too that it'll take this Townsville Fire team a little used to getting to play with Sammy Whitcomb. Her look-away passes, her bounce passes, we've seen that bobble a bit from some of the, particularly the post plays aren't quite yet used to the ball. Always expect the ball to come from Sammy Whitcomb.
What will be pleasing for the coaching staff is that even though these things aren't still quite coming off, they still hold a pretty handy 17-point lead, the biggest lead of the match so far, against an Adelaide Lightning side who's got some great imports, a great mix and blend of players looking to climb up the ladder this season. Had a tough start to their campaign. They take a lot out of their first few rounds, but really important for them to try and finish this match out strongly. It's still not over by any stretch of the imagination, but cannot let this lead to creep out any further, you would think.
Yeah, and the Townsville fight, just we see there the intensity of their, you know, you talk about two players they've brought in, Alice Kunig and Sammy Whitcomb, that are renowned as scorers. You know, Kunig early in her career as a three-point specialist, but the standard they're setting for their defensive intensity. We see then Koenig come up with a massive defensive play. We've seen Whitcomb come up with 3 or 4, and that's a game changer for them. It's not just at one end of the floor. Defensively, they're so tough, this team.
They turn it over on a rare occasion here. Can Mansfield make them pay? Just a little offline on the three-point attempt. It's mopped up by Brown.
And again, Townsville Fire now just happy they're going to grind you out in the half court. They know they've got a good lead. They're going to execute. They're going to make you defend. They're going to find action to get a creative open shot. Some little pick-the-picker action.
Kuzo.
It's got to go. Shot clock's low.
Wickham to Brown to Woods through her fingers. Adelaide ball. Really good defensive play there.
They weren't quite clock aware then. Woods knew she probably had to launch it, but she barely caught it with a second on the shot clock. But they won't be happy with that, but they did chew 24 seconds off the clock, so not a disaster.
It's important for Adelaide to maintain that defensive pressure. As Willoughby fires for the three and drains another.
She has been impressive from the three-point line tonight. Jocelyn Willoughby, they've found her open, feet set. She's stroking it.
And Kunek down the other end. Couldn't find the bottom of the net. Bourne. Less than 3 minutes to go in the third here. Turner to Willoughby. To Turner. Lovely shot.
It's a free throw from there. A little short corner shot for Turner. They need to get her involved more. She's been solid on the glass, solid defensively. Only taken 4 shots.
Important little run here for Adelaide.
Izzy Bourne from behind with the block.
It's a good little patch from the Lightning. So we get another look on this on replay. Outstanding stuff.
Jocelyn Willoughby now 4 of 6 from the three-point line. She's been big for them. They got it back to 12. Certainly within touch.
Brown to Whitcomb. And here's a chance for the Lightning. And we're starting to see a bit of energy from the bench.
Yeah, they've come up with a couple of stops. You know, that one was probably an unforced error.
Take whatever you can get.
Absolutely.
Here's Tonks.
Yeah, they got a shot clock violation. They got that unforced error. Adelaide will take that. Can they convert at this end? They're happy to play a little half-court grind as Willoughby steps back for the three. Not this time. Just a 4 of 7 from the three-point line tonight.
Final 2 minutes of the third. Adelaide continue to chip away at this lead, or will Townsville keep them at arm's length as they've done all night? Woods into the corner for Roof.
Wow.
Nearly slipped over as she started a celebration.
Just when you feel like you're in touch, they push it back to 15. Turner getting involved with Willoughby again. Back to the corner.
Woods comes up with it. They want the fast transition, the Fire, but Bourne breaks it up and then loses it.
See the hustle there. 3-4 Townsville Fire players look to get on the loose ball. Speaks to their intensity.
So Willoughby now 17 points, the leading scorer out there at the moment. Kunek up to 16. She's played some game, has Willoughby. Trying to do everything she can to get the Lightning back into this one.
Adelaide here happy to go switching. They get a mismatch down low, but great rotation from the Lightning. Come up with a steal on that post feed. They had a mismatch.
Brazel out to Bourne. Fires on the three. Bounces off the rim. Final minute of the third quarter. Townsville in control. Brown. Woods. Roof. Kunek kicks it out. That one's a little offline.
Again, good offense, good ball movement by the Townsville Fire. They go inside, they come outside to shooters.
Woods doesn't miss. And all of a sudden, it's 18 points.
Yeah, that's what they do when they execute like that. They've got a plethora of perimeter scorers.
They're well in control at the moment, the Townsville Fire. A great ending to that third quarter after Adelaide made a bit of a charge, but they head into three-quarter time with an 18-point lead, 60-42, thanks to some excellent late shooting from the Fire. And they'll be pretty happy, Carrie Graff, to head into three-quarter time with a very handy lead.
Yeah, like you say, Adelaide Lightning had a little run there, a little momentum swing, forced a few turnovers, came up with a couple of good two games between Willoughby, but it's just the execution of the Townsville Fire in the half court. They just grind you out. They work together to get great shots. They played the second side. They went inside. They went outside. And we saw at the start of that quarter, Mansfield was effective on dribble penetration. But look at this, inside, outside. Roof gives up the three to get a layup. Coach Shannon Seabold will be extremely happy with their offensive execution of patience.
See Akuzo getting in on the action as well. Roof, this is the late three from her, and look, she almost fell over with the celebration. But they've been a well-drilled outfit from the tip-off, the Townsville Fire. 18 points is the margin to three-quarter time. Here are some of the key stats. What stands out to you, Carrie?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think what got the Lightning back in that a little bit was the turnovers. They forced turnovers the other way, and then Townsville had a few sloppy ones, but I think it's been if we look at that assist column for the Fire, they've managed time and time again to get their feet in the key way, spit the ball back out to wide open shooters. But look, it looks relatively even. It's just the shooting percentages I think have really been the difference too for the Townsville Fire. They've shot the ball at a much higher percentage. They've got great shots, as we see individual scorers there. Can turn it. Come up, step up with a few more points, doing a great job on the boards, but I think they really need to involve her a bit offensively, and this first 5 minutes of the last quarter is going to be huge for the Adelaide Lightning.
And you mentioned their spread of contributors. Townsville, I think that's really well illustrated when you look at scoring the points. So 7 players have scored, 7 individual scorers tonight. Only one of them has scored less than 5 points, which is Steph Reed. So all of them, not only are they scoring, but they're getting obviously multiple points on the board. So it's just been a pretty dominant display so far. So what can Adelaide come up with in the final quarter?
Yeah, as I say, it speaks to their offensive execution. They get the ball through sets of hands. They can score many ways, inside, outside, off the dribble.
Willoughby, it's been great for her team tonight, but it's turned it over on this occasion. Townsville looking to start the last quarter strongly as Cygnett pulls the trigger on the three.
Love that one too, wide open. Shooters love that on the break, wide open, splash, push it out. Now it gets scary for Adelaide. It's out to 21.
And Cygnett is out to 19 points tonight. 3-ball attempt.
But Tonks couldn't get that one, then gets a cheap foul. The ability for the Lightning just to, as we talked about, Adelaide get it back to 12-13, and then blink of an eye, they're back to 18-20. Now it looks, it's a bigger mountain that you've got to climb. It takes a lot of energy to get back from a 20-point deficit, particularly when it's in the last quarter.
Cygnett to Reed. Woods looking for Roof inside. Great
Again,
play.
The execution. They look for a weak link, or they look for a mismatch. They look for a breakdown, and they punish you.
How much do you think Adelaide would try and stem the flow in this last quarter, or just try and focus on their play and maybe high risk, high reward kind of stuff?
Yeah, look, maybe they have a crack at it for the first couple of minutes, and then it's, does coach rotate the bench in, give them a chance to play? I mean, at this point, it becomes at what point do you go, this one's done? We don't want to risk injury to some key players. We want to allow our younger players an opportunity to play. Coach Hurst might give it a few more minutes, see if they can make a little run. Right now, it's looking challenging. 8.5 minutes, 23 points down. With Reed on the line, it's probably going to go to 25. She's an exceptional free throw shooter. Well, she was.
The commentators curse again. But you're right, 83% from the free throw line this season. Had only missed once up until that shot. Let's see what she can do on the second attempt. back to regular programming.
Again, we see extended defence.
Turner sharing it with Willoughby for 2. She does pick up a foul.
Are we happy with her output tonight, Willoughby? She's got involved. They've found her wide open at three-point line on numerous occasions. Good for her confidence. Finding her feet in this Adelaide Lightning after a season with the Sydney Flames last year.
17 points tonight. Best return so far this season. Potentially some more to come.
See the towel boy getting a workout tonight.
Gets the first.
Great stroke.
Just 40% at the line tonight, Adelaide, compared to 71% free throw percentage for Townsville. So missed opportunities, but Willoughby didn't miss hers on that occasion. Here's Reed, shot clock down to 6. So they go for the 3 from Brown, and after starting like a house on fire from outside the arc, she's missed her last few, Brown. Boula's working
Good
on Reed.
D, Steph Reed. Kept her body in front. Turner for the long 2. Can't buy that one.
Have you seen Boula's game tonight, Carrie? The 8 points for her. 1 from 2 from the line.
Yeah, look, I think Townsville have scouted her pretty well. They've thrown different looks at her. You know, to me, she looks maybe a little fatigued, but it's hard to maintain that form. And you know, everyone's talking her up. She's highly talented, as we see her put it on the deck, but they've defended her super well. Tried to stay in front of her. She looks a little frustrated, maybe a little fatigued. We see that shoulder taped up pretty heavy. Maybe that's causing a few issues.
You think Shannon Seaborn coming into the game would have circled Izzy's name?
Circled, highlighted, underlined. They would have a few defensive approaches for her and mix it up with her. We've seen Steph Reed on her, we've seen Whitcomb on her, and you know, just changing things up with her.
So heading to a timeout, 7 minutes, 29 seconds left in the last, and a very healthy 22-point lead to Townsville. This timeout is brought to you by the WNBL. Don't forget, the official WNBL app is here. We certainly don't want you to miss a minute of the action. So for all your live scores, highlights, your player and team info, and plenty more, make sure you download the free WNBL app today. Carrie, I've got mine. I know you are all across that app, wherever you are, at dinner, at the beach, anywhere you are, you've got that app handy. So make sure you get yours today. So timeout here in the last 7 and a bit minutes to go for these two sides. The stage of the game, what do you think these two teams will try and get out of these last 7.5 minutes?
Yeah, look, I don't think Townsville are going to take their foot off the gas. Coach Seabell might rotate a little more freely, but he's not going to open up the floodgates and roll the whole bench out until, you know, this one's maybe under 4 minutes with still a big margin. You know, the Adelaide Lightning, young Adelaide Lightning team out there with a few of their bench in now would suggest that Coach Hurst has said on this one, all right, look, and not to say don't go out there and not play hard and chip away at it, but you know, that's often a sign that she's said, all right, this one's a bit too far out. Let's get some other people on the floor, give them some opportunity, but let's not risk some others. But Townsville, I think you'll see them, the intensity in their defence is still there. They're going to make sure they use this as, can we continue to execute? What have we like? What's got us this lead? How do we maintain that and really make a statement?
Boula's missing both attempts there at the line, but she gets it back. Puts the shot up, and that's better from Izzy Boula's. She's pretty happy with that as well. Yeah, it's gotten her fired up.
Tough to, you know, that was against Sammy Whitcomb. Good D, had her body in there, had her hand in there, but Boula's found the finish.
It's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Izzy Boula's. As you mentioned, 19 years of age, has been a star for Adelaide this season, a star on the rise. A lot spoken about her. She must carry that pressure on her shoulders.
She's got the shoulders for it.
She's got the number 14 as well on her back. Of course, that number coming out of retirement. Yep. It's Brazel with the 3 attempt. Can't get it to go.
Again, Townsville here. They'll execute. They'll make this young Lightning outfit defend multiple actions, defend some down screens, cross screens, handbacks, ball screens. We'll see Adelaide now with a little press, a little 1-2-2 half-court press. See if they can shake it loose.
Get out of it, or do they? Boulays with the steal. Can't get the finish. And no call.
Again, Woods just backing away, kept her body in front.
Here's Roof. To Brown. Now Woods, and they've coughed it up the fire.
Adelaide's still trying to keep some intensity defensively. They haven't thrown in the towel. They're still playing with effort. Boulays and Turner in a 2-game here. Well defended by the Lightning. They just switched that.
Shot clock down to 7. Will Boulays do? Tries to go off the board.
Reed got her feet there again. He's looking to take a charge. Boulays has enough wear about her body to pull up, not clean through that.
Roof under pressure. This is good hustle from the Lightning, and they come up with it. 20 points the margin. Charging down the other end is Mansfield. Back out to Mole.
Woods, good defense. Cuts off that driving lane with great footwork. And again, foul call this time. Great anticipation by Woods. Gets her body in front effectively. Coach Seabold wants to talk this over. He's not happy with what he's seeing. They still hold a 20-point lead. He wants to tidy up a few things.
So 5 minutes to go in this last quarter. Townsville still ahead by 20 points. As you take a look at the next 4 games for the Lightning, Carrie. A couple to come in round 5 and again in round 6.
Yeah, they've got Townsville, then Bendigo, then Sydney, then Perth. So I mean, no games in the WNBL are easy ones, but that's going to be a tough little stretch for them. Some, a couple of teams below them, that could really, these next 4 games for them could shape closely what's going to happen come finals. It seems a long way away, but you can go on a little winning tear or a little losing tear. So important for them that they finish this one out.
And 2-2 coming into tonight, and as we've mentioned, they played some quality opposition to this point of the season, so there still is plenty of positives for the Lightning to take away.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they've done some impressive things, but I think they've got a whole lot of stuff to work on. And look, Townsville have just played quality hoop tonight. They've executed. I think they've followed their game plan. They've executed in the half court. They've had ball movement, player movement. Their defensive intensity caused problems for Adelaide early, and I think they did a great job shutting down Lightning's running game. We talked about they've been averaging in their first 4 games 24-point first quarters. They've been a team that can jump out to a great start. Townsville put a lid on that straight away and limited their running game, and I think that's put them certainly in a great position and allowed them to get this 20-point lead.
Adelaide haven't won a 4th quarter yet this season, so they just haven't quite been able to string together 4-quarter performances as yet. Boulays, tough shot.
Again, we talked about she's had different looks. She's had Whitcomb defender. She's had Steph Reed defender. Steph Reed's helped a lot on her penetrations. She's had Courtney Woods defender.
Here is Reed. We'll get it back from Whitcomb, and then we'll give it back to Whitcomb. Try to go to Rue. She's tried that pass a few times tonight, Whitcomb.
Yeah, the little inside bounce pass to the rolling post. Again, that's the sort of stuff that takes a bit of time to get a bit of chemistry. You can see Whitcomb really trying to explore how she's playing with the post players of the Townsville Fire, both in Akuso and Roof. The next few weeks, you'll see that evolve more as they have more time together.
So at this stage of the season, Fire, of course, are the defending champions. Boomers, the only undefeated team left in the comp. Who do you think is the best team in the comp at this stage? I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, look, in form and on their record, no doubt Melbourne Boomers have had a great start to their season. I like the way the Townsville Fire are playing, but having said that, Southside beaten by a point. So I think, look, Melbourne, you can't argue that record to start the season 4-0. They've been, there's some players down. They've got Christy Wallace to add back. they had a pretty big roster turnover, so I think, you know, you've got to give credit where credit's due. They're playing, they got a great start to the season. That sets you up well for the rest. Having said that, it's not always the magic number. Bendigo last year started 7-0 and didn't make the playoffs. Anything can happen. Injuries happen. Momentum swings through the course of the season. But, you know, certainly the way Townsville are playing tonight, you'd imagine, and pre-season pundits would have them absolutely in that top 4. So it's going to be interesting these next 4 weeks to see how things shake up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see that ladder settle a bit as Whitcomb fires on the 3. It's off the rim. And Turner with another rebound to her name. She's up to 13 rebounds tonight, Turner. So again, posting big numbers in that category. Here she is sharing it with Brazel. Rattles out. Roof to clean things up. 4 minutes to go in this last quarter. Fire under a bit of pressure. Reed. It's just checking things are okay with her eyesight, I think. Steph Reed.
Alrighty, Lightning fans, let's see your best basketball muscles.
So we're heading to another timeout with the Fire. Comfortable leaders, 20 points with 4 minutes to go in the last quarter. Of course, the first game of a double-header for them this weekend. They take on Perth next. Carrie, looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that'll be a ripper. Perth have had a really good start to their season. Too, you know, unlucky last night in the contest. They were up by 20, had a great first half, and then what a great end to a game. Southside ran them down, but they've had a cracking start. Again, a team with a fair bit of turnover on their roster, and they've had an impressive start.
Certainly have. Townsville led by 13 points at quarter time. Again, 13 points at half time. Adelaide made a little bit of a run for it during that third, but Townsville managed to hold an 18-point advantage heading into three-quarter time. So they've been well-disciplined, well-drilled from the opening quarter. It's been a pretty impressive performance from the defending champs, and with 4 minutes to go, we're looking to keep up that scoring pressure, and the Lightning, hopefully for them, they can create a few highlights and take some confidence into their next game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here too. Does Coach Seabohm, you know, keep playing his core group, or does he rotate in some young people? He's got a decent lead. We might see him with 2 minutes to play, throw in some of the younger talent that don't normally get to play too much, preserve some of those older bodies and some of those bodies that are a little bit banged up early in the season.
Reed at the line, gets the first.
Often it's a balance of that, and then also early in the season, developing chemistry and playing together. And it's one thing to practice against each other, but playing in a real game with referees and clocks is a whole lot different than scrimmaging against your own teammates.
Here's Willoughby, 19 points for her this evening. Played wonderfully. Mansfield.
Good finish, well executed against that denial defense we've talked about. Townsville Fire like to get out in the lanes. Adelaide do a great job of back cutting hard. Mansfield, can she convert here?
%72% at the line this season, 8 out of 11.
She just seems to be shooting a little flat, Mansfield. She's had games in seasons gone by where she can get lighted up, you know, 6 of 7 from a three-point line. She's dragged her team back into games, shooting at times, as we see back cut versus back cut. Steph Reed counters with the same sort of thing.
And the points continue to flow for the Fire. Certainly looking to finish strongly here. Mansfield. That one's off the rim. The Fire clean it up.
Adelaide just haven't had a good scoring night. Shooting at poor, 33% from the field. They haven't had terrible shots, and you can't totally credit Townsville's defense for, you know, they've had some good attacking shots at the rim, some wide open perimeter shots, but 33% from the field, you're not going to win too many games with a clip like that. And just 25 from three-point land. Townsville, on the other hand, 56% from the field, 35 from three-point range, 11 of 31.
See McDowell-White coming into the action for the Fire. And they draw the foul.
Both coaches here may clear their benches shortly. Easy call for the referee. Adelaide looking rather dejected, understandably so. Big margin losses aren't fun for anyone to take.
It's been one of the differences tonight is free throw percentage. Adelaide 40%, Townsville 77%.
Yeah, shooting percentages have been the
just
story
overall,
of the game.
really. Yep. You got to take your opportunities when you're playing against quality opposition. As Willoughby goes for another three, she can certainly hold her head high tonight. Another three ball attempt.
Just can't get one to drop. The Adelaide Lightning, tough night at the office. 48 points, pretty low scoring in the WNBL.
And as the Fire have done many times tonight, they make you pay at the other end. Roof to McDowell-White for her first points in the WNBL.
Teams will often work hard when a young player comes in, find them a basket when there's a big margin.
Comes from a pretty handy sporting family as well. Her father is, of course, a three-time AFL Premiership player with Brisbane. And her mother was an outstanding basketballer in the Northern Territory, Bianca McDowell. Great to see Jess McDowell-White out there tonight, getting her first points.
Teammates will be pretty happy with that. Michaela Roof sucked in the defender. Gave McDowell-White a wide open look.
Into the final 2 minutes here at Adelaide Arena. It's Mansfield looking to press. Out to Mole, under pressure, puts the shot up. And again, it's just been the story of the night. Brown down the other end to McDowell-White. And now to Shields, who's also come into the action for the Fire. And I think that's a travel. Is it?
I think it was, as we anticipated. Coach Seabom happy now to play his bench. Not risk injury to his starters. Allow the bench an opportunity to play.
It's come unstuck for the Lightning. So Townsville ball into the final minute here in the last quarter.
Yeah, kind of story of their game a little bit there. Some loose turnovers that hurt them early.
26 points the margin it is. They led by 18 at three-quarter time. So have really finished this last quarter strongly. Have the defending champs. McDowell-White out to Woods.
3-second call. Kuso working the block. Oh, sorry.
Tofeono is out there. Stepped onto the court against Southside in the last quarter for her debut and gets a couple of minutes here late in this one. So Willoughby out to Mansfield. And out to Basham, who's on court for the Lightning. And to Willoughby.
Willoughby, eyes light up there, sees the young rookie, says, have a little crack at this one-on-one. Credit to the youngster. Kept her feet down, put her hands in though.
Just a little short.
Story of Adelaide Lightning's night. Front rimmed, lots of shots tonight.
With that free throw, she brings up the 20th point tonight, Willoughby. She's been one of Adelaide's best on a tough night for them against really quality opposition. It's a Lightning ball, the final 20 seconds of the game. Mansfield to Mole. Now back to Mansfield. And that's a really well-executed play in the final seconds of tonight's game. Brazel with the finish. Great team play from the Lightning. They might have one last chance. No, they don't go for it. So that'll be the end of the match tonight here at Adelaide Arena. A convincing performance from the defending champions, the Townsville Fire. They beat the Adelaide Lightning 74-51. And Carrie Graff, it really was an impressive performance from start to finish from the Fire. They, sorry, as we keep mentioning, we sound like a broken record, but again, just so well drilled. They came out here with a solid game plan. They knew exactly what they wanted to execute, took their chances, shot really well, defended really well. Overall, just a very great, well-rounded performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Their offensive execution was on point. You know, they forced Adelaide Lightning to defend them multiple actions, multiple times. You know, set up early by Sammy Whitcomb's first half. I think she was exceptional in her ability to get her feet in the paint, find open shooters, find people cutting. They just ground this one out. It was all on the Townsville Fire terms. They just set it up. They played the tempo they wanted to play it. They ran a half-court game. Opportunistic, they ran off turnovers, but other than that, they just said, we're going to execute, we're going to move the ball, and they showed that. They had multiple scorers. You know, it really was a team effort tonight. Koenig stepped up with 19, was big for them, and then they had 4 or 5 others that were nearly in double digits, but they worked the ball exceptionally well.
And you mentioned it as well throughout the call, such a spread of contributors. It was Koenig early. She ended, as you mentioned, her night with 19 points, but really had some great moments from a number of players. Woods as well stepped up with 9. Brown was on fire early with her 3-point shooting. She came into the game 4 from 4, hadn't missed an attempt, then made it 7 from 7 at one stage to start this game before missing a couple late. But whenever Adelaide gave them an opportunity through a turnover, they really made them pay, and it's what quality sides do.
Yeah, they do. And Alex Koenig, you know, she hit some big threes for them, threes over her hand, but she got on the end of the fast break. She got on the rim when she needed her team to, but certainly a team effort from the Townsville Fire tonight, but Koenig did a great job hitting big shots when they needed it.
And who really stood out to you? I mean, we say it was a really great team performance, but did anybody catch your eye from the Fire's perspective?
Yeah, look, I think, as we talked about, it was a team effort. They moved the ball. I mean, they had everyone that could hit a 3-point shot. Roof hit a couple early. You talked about Brown already, but I think it was just their ability to work the ball offensively, execute what they wanted, and, you know, they had player after player hit the open 3, go inside, come outside. It was a team effort.
Absolutely. As we take a look at some more highlights from tonight's game. Outstanding job from the Fire, and there's Bola getting in on the action for Adelaide. What do you think the Lightning take out of tonight's game?
Yeah, look, I think they're going to look at this one and talk about what they need to do defensively. Clearly, they didn't shoot the ball well. I mean, and sometimes you're not going to shoot the ball well, but if you're not shooting the ball well, you've got to be able to defend. I thought they were, you know, gave up way too much penetration, particularly in that first half. Their defensive rotation wasn't there, but they just got to pick it up and focus on the next game.
They certainly do. So it's Townsville will take on Perth in their next match, as we take a look at some of the full-time stats. And again, as you mentioned it throughout the call, the shooting percentage or the shooting execution, I guess, from the two sides really told the story of the game. The Lightning just couldn't quite get their range and get their flow happening, and the Fire just seemed like it was all working out for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, lowly percentages. You're not going to win ball games in the WNBL with this. Adelaide shoot 31% from the field, 23 from three-point line. You know, and they haven't been shooting that poorly. They got to just put that one to bed. Got to credit though Townsville's defense. They forced some tough shots, but Adelaide just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn tonight.
Adelaide take on Bendigo in their next game, as we take a look at some of the top scorers and other key stats winners. And Willoughby, she was great tonight, 20 points. Borlays finished with the 10, and a couple of rebounds again. Turner, she's number 1 in the competition for rebounds, averaging 17 a game. She had 15 as well to her name there. So a lot for Adelaide to work on, but also as we've mentioned, they've taken on some quality opposition, and Townsville are a very, very good team tonight. So they showed some glimpses. Their just next challenge is doing it for longer periods in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, they'll regroup. You know, they've got some good talent. they'll have some learnings out of that as we see the round 4 games to come. There's going to be some other great ones in this.
Yes, Bendigo and Sydney, Perth hosting Townsville, and Melbourne against the Capitals. Melbourne, of course, the only undefeated team at the moment. Perth and Townsville, you circle that one, and that's going to be a ripper.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots more great WNBL action. There are going to be some great ones to tune into.
Absolutely.